Hi, lovies. It's Christina with Karma's Eye Psychic LLC here on Universal Spirit Podcast. I know I have been away from TikTok, Facebook, Patreon. I've been away from everything for the last couple of months. For those of you who know, I did have my car vandalized back in early August, and also my grandmother died in early August as well. So it's been a journey. It's been a journey for real. It's been a time. During that time, for those of you who were following the astral skies, that Saturn was retrograde for a while. So this kind of pushed a lot of things back, caused a lot of things to be delayed, especially when it came to things that push us forward and are disciplined and getting things done, right? That, aggressive energy of just setting goals and then following through with them. Now that Saturn is no longer retrograde, thank goodness. And for those of you who know, I'm a Capricorn. And it is direct. It is in Pisces now. Also Scorpio and Pluto, where it was acting a mess. And I'm also a Scorpio rising, so that was messing me up. However, anyway, everything now is going direct. Everything is now acting correct. And that's why I'm also getting on here, because I know you guys deserve an explanation, considering I feel like I've dropped off the face of the planet. A few times it felt like I had. A few times I felt, very discouraged with everything going on at the same time, right? And then Mercury going retrograde in the end of August. Just a really tough time. However, it was a tough time for a lot of us. We've broken away from a lot of things that we felt have, led us astray. A lot of things that you feel have let us down. And yes, we were given a lot of time, 5 months to be exact, to really reevaluate not only our decisions, but the parts that we play in the things that happen to us or around us. And especially when those things are really, really out of our control. And it really tests us as a person, as a being, our place in the world. For a lot of you guys have been thriving through these retrogrades. You guys have been thriving through these transits and all these eclipses. And I'm very proud of you guys. I'm really glad that you guys are able to find yourselves. Not only that, just take, your own alchemy and turn it into what you believe it is. It's really an amazing thing to witness. Whether I know you or not, I think it's great that, you're able to find more in yourself than what you were told to find, right? Finding so much more and exploring not only your mind, your spirit, your body, and just, aligning your energy, your aura, your chakras, or whatever you feel, you want to call it. And for those of you who might have been discouraged lately about honoring your ancestors, or even communicating with your spirit guides, have been lacking at this time. But I am here to tell you, because Saturn is direct, and as my Capricorn duties require me to let you know that we need to get back up on our ancestor game. We need to get back up on our manifesting game. We got to get back up on our offering game. We got to get back to really believing in ourselves. We all go through storms. All of us do, right? We all have different meanings of what survival is. We all have different, perspectives in life. But the truth is, we are all still living this life, technically at the same time. And most of us, not all of us, will go through the same things. Okay? We'll go through them at different degrees. We'll go through them at different times, whether we are or aren't prepared for them. That song, Lean On Me, was playing at the exact moment perfectly for me yesterday, when I felt like it was all just going to, collide, and what is the meaning of all this, and yada, yada, yada. You know how we all do. And then you start realizing that feeling sorry for yourself really isn't going to do anything. Just continuing to remember why you started a dream or a plan or a goal to begin with, because that underlying, feeling that you deserve this, or you deserve to go on this journey, or this whatever it is, you're chasing your dreams, whatever it is you felt deep down to begin. And yes, we're all going to have times and rocky times in our lives, but it's meant for you. That gut feeling tells you that it's meant for you. We're all going to go through hard times anyway. So why not chase your dreams at the same time? Why not figure out this world, or figure out yourself, or figure out this universe anyway, right? The time is going to pass. We're going to be here. And we all have the day that we die. We all do. But while we're here, the only really positive perspective I came up out of this is that if you were to rate your experience on planet Earth the entire time you lived here, right? Your general 87-year median, average, how many stars would you give it out of 5? And think about the things that you have enjoyed while you were here. Things that you are so glad you've experienced, and really making that override the things that you wish you hadn't experienced. The people you have met, the time and space you have spent, during historical events, or being the lucky one to have met a person that maybe not many people have met, and has taught you a profound life lesson that otherwise you would have never learned on your own. Or a situation that you've been in that would have never led you to a certain breakthrough, or led you to a certain place of enlightenment. Just as a little bit of a side note, lovies, I did in fact get my car back. Everything is up and running correctly. We were able to get my grandmother's affairs in line and in order, finally. And, we are better as a family. We're doing better in general. Thank you for those who did in fact reach out. Definitely appreciate that. It was a tough time for all of us. My grandmother, she was a something, that's for sure. If I talk about my dad, being so great, that was the woman that raised him. So you couldn't imagine, amazing apple had to have fallen from an amazing tree, right? So I am just rambling. I would like to know what it means to you to, survive a storm. What things you got out of it, what things you learn, what things you feel and you realize you need to work on and improve on. Some people through this Saturn, retrograde realize that 9-to-5 jobs are just not for them. Getting in touch with your mental health, your physical health, and understanding people and places that just do not resonate with you. And understanding that, you are an individual. Yes, the world, it's easier to lump us all into one group of people and stereotype us all. But the truth is, we can't help but be individual light beings and creatures of the universe that are made completely and 100% different from the person next to us, or even going through the same experience, right? Even when I talk about astrology, all the things that make us who we are, how we make up our minds and how we pursue things, how we learn lessons, and etc. I just wanted to get on here and just ramble a bit because, we're in November and this is all about gratitude. I do have a gratitude meditation on this channel if you would like to listen to that, and understanding the power of gratitude. But I just like to reiterate, some of the things that I am grateful for. I'm grateful that I survived that storm that I didn't think I could survive. I thought it would break me entirely. Grateful for the people that I have around me, my family, my friends, and the ones that stuck around. Grateful that, I have you guys as followers and listeners, as practitioners and people who are, who offer their insight to things that I don't know, and vice versa, that I can give you insight on things that you might not know. This whole universal family, is what I'm grateful for. Understanding that we technically never go through things alone. We are always in the presence of our spirit guides, ancestors, and forces of the universe that are extremely powerful and very willing to help us get through pretty much anything. And you're probably wondering why I'm rambling right now, right? Well, because Saturn went direct, right? So now it's kind of like the floodgates are open. Floodgates of information, floodgates of motivation, floodgates of saying that this is your, next time around, don't have any excuses this time. Try not to find any, right? Also, I did make a post on Facebook and on Patreon about Saturn going direct. Please, 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 at this time, do not get yourself canceled. Do not get yourself fired. Whatever was flying during the Saturn retrograde, whatever was flying during that time is not going to fly now. All right, so if you were getting your way, you're taking advantage of something, it's not happening anymore. Saturn is back from vacation, and like I always tell you guys, when Saturn goes retrograde, she's back in the office, and she's throwing out everything that was either skimping or cutting corners or just not doing things by the book or not doing things correctly, that are going to affect you in the long run, okay? So unfortunately, the planet of discipline has gotten its rest and it's ready to start running again. So for those of you who do not like the idea of taking accountability, doing the work that you need to do, definitely doing a lot of self-reflecting. It might be a harder time for you, especially if you had it easier during the beginnings of the retrograde. Okay. Also, I just wanted to throw out there to all of my veteran lovies to say Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service, for sure. We definitely appreciate you, and you've done more for this country than most of us. So I wanted to say thank you, Happy Veterans Day, and I remember you, and I definitely appreciate you for sure. I will throw a coupon out there. It's going to be Veteran for 10% off between now and 11/21. So November 21st is the last day you can use the coupon code Veteran, 10% off all products. All right, my lovies. I want to say thank you for listening to my little ramble damble. And I hope to hear from you guys soon. Hope to hear your thoughts. And I would love to hear your stories about, like I said, what it's like to survive, the type of storms we've been through. Some of us don't like to remind ourselves. But if you were to remind yourself of every storm you've been through and understand that you've come out on the other side of that storm and it didn't destroy you or break you, or at least the way it was meant to, definitely give yourself a pat on the back. Really just appreciate, have some gratitude, and realize and understand and observe how stronger and smarter you are, and how that you're strong enough to have not been broken by that situation. Definitely reach out. You can go to ceokarmas@karmazeyepsychic.com. That's my direct email. Or you can go to karmazeyepsychic.com to contact us with some extra additional info or your thoughts on this podcast or any podcast. Also, don't forget we are hiring bilingual tarot reader. And if you're interested, please send us your information. All right, my lovies, I'm going to skedaddle. So don't forget, lovies, come high, which means come high vibrational, or stay home. Every day we wake up, you're coming out high vibrational, or you ain't showing up at all. Because this world requires us to come high vibrational every day. And that is something my dad used to say, and now I'm coining it myself. So lovies, come high or stay home. This world ain't for the weak. This is Christina with Karma's Eye Psychic LLC here on Universal Spirit Podcast. I will talk to you guys later.